everyone, and welcome to Rocket Lab Saturday featuring me, Stock Trek Girl, on the Stock Trek channel. And what is fascinating about this Rocket Lab Saturday is we have some juicy details that have been released regarding Wallops Island, Virginia. So be sure to stay tuned as I go over what is happening with Wallops Island, what is going on with Neutron, is Neutron being delayed, as well as what is going on with this helicopter catch. You know, we have been waiting to witness the famous helicopter catching Electron, so formulating that reusability for Rocket Lab. So stay tuned and find out what is going on. How about that? There and back again. You know, we're launching. No, we're not launching. We're launching. No, we're not launching. You know, I feel like they are sending me there and back again. Like, my brain is all over the place wondering, when are we going to see this helicopter launch? I mean, I feel like I've already been there and back again. And, you know, they took us there. We're gonna launch now. Nope, we're back to this. Nope, we're not launching it. So maybe that is a good fitting name for that mission. But hey, you know, we can't be too upset because it is weather. We can't really, you know, control that. Or can we? No. But here's the thing. It's really not a big deal. It's just a little setback. This happens with every rocket company, with launches getting scrubbed. So as far as this being scrubbed, you know, whatever. We're going to see this launch happen. It's going to happen. It's not like it's never going to happen. So due to the changes in weather, they are now targeting no earlier than April 27th if you are in the United States, or April 28th if you are a Kiwi and in New Zealand. So we will definitely keep our eyes on this, and I will definitely keep you updated if there is any changes on the Stock Trek Girl Twitter page. So word has just gotten out that Rocket Lab does not expect to launch from Wallops Island till the last month of 2022, which is December. And honestly, I don't mean to sound like I don't have much faith in Rocket Lab, because typically when Rocket Lab says they'll do something, they do it.
Because at Rocket Lab, when we say we're going to do something, we do it.
But this isn't all about Rocket Lab, because they are targeting launching the Electron rocket from Wallops Island, Virginia in December of 2022, but that doesn't all hinge on Rocket Lab. So I cannot necessarily agree that Rocket Lab is going to accomplish that, because part of it also is dependent on NASA and their NAV2 flight software. So NAV2 was supposed to be ready back in, well, February, supposedly, and they kind of gave Rocket Lab a bit of like a little sneak preview of their software. However, it's kind of been like crickets since then. You know, I mean, February came and went. Here we are, you know, end of April, going middle of 2022, and nothing on any updates on NAV2. So for me, this isn't a Rocket Lab issue. This is kind of like a software NAFTA issue. So as far as when can we expect a launch from Wallops Island, I'm really holding my breath for 2022. Honestly, you know, I think it's probably going to end up being first quarter 2023, most likely. So, I mean, we can see how things get delayed. We see how the upcoming helicopter catch got delayed due to weather, but this is a totally different kind of delay. This isn't just weather. This has to do with an outside factor, which involves NASA and software. So when Rocket Lab says they do something, they typically do it, as long as, you know, it's not a force of nature or or something involving a third party. So I do have plenty of trust in Rocket Lab delivering on their time frames, only, you know, things happen. Not only did they announce that most likely it's delayed to be launched till the end of 2022 in December, they already secured who they're going to be providing the launch for, and that is Hawkeye 360. Now, Hawkeye 360 has signed an agreement with Rocket Lab to release satellites for their constellation. Basically, they signed a contract to do 15 satellites over 3 launches. 2 of those launches are going to be totally dedicated to just Hawkeye, and the third launch will be basically a ride share. So they're going to be sharing the space with someone else. But honestly, this is not a bad thing, because this shows that Wallops Island, Virginia isn't just going to be utilized for military contracts and defense. While it's good to do military contracts and defense for, you know, revenue, this shows that they could go beyond those and they could get those commercial contracts. And that's going to definitely bring in more cheese to the revenue. So really excited, because I thought that initially the very first Electron launch would be military. Now, in regards to Neutron, we saw that Rocket Lab, by the time they launch, their Wallops Island launch pad for Electron would have basically been sitting there for 3 years almost. Yeah, 3 years, and it hasn't been used. Some people may be thinking, okay, is Neutron going to be delayed like this? You know, are we going to see the pad and everything done up, and where's Neutron? Are we going to have a 3-year delay as for a launch? I don't think so. By then, the software clearly will be in use. They would have been launching from Wallops Island by the time Neutron development is in place and coming around. Not only that, it was mentioned that Rocket Lab could possibly utilize the Neutron launch pad for other launches, maybe even an Electron launch while we're waiting on Neutron to be completed. So that could give them 2 launch pads in Wallops Island, possibly 2 Electron launch pads in Wallops Island while we're waiting for Neutron to be developed. So this, to me, is not necessarily indicative of a delay to Neutron, but it does give one pause to know that things can happen that are unforeseen and outside the circumstances of Rocket Lab. Neutron is very, very important, and the speed of development is very, very important, because think about it. 80% of launches over the next decade are going to be satellites for constellations. They are going to need a heavy lift vehicle, okay? 80% of launches. Now, I guess Astra can just take the other 22%, you know, the little CubeSats or whatever. but you know, companies like Rocket Lab will be going after that 80%.
And here is what Rocket Lab is doing right now with the Neutron rocket production.
Prototype tanks are under manufacture as we speak, and Archimedes will breathe its first fire next year.
Now, as far as the stock price goes, let's take a look at that, see how it compares from our last Rocket Lab Saturday.
Now, last week we were definitely above $8 a share, and we were on our way till 9, at least I hoped we were. But as you can see, we went back down and crossed back down towards our stable line of support there. My guess is it's because our latest mission there and back again was delayed. However, I still think there is opportunity for us to bounce back above that line after we successfully complete our mission. again, this is all very short term, and the outlook is definitely a good 2 years. Keep in mind that they have added a lot more to their backlog revenue. So while the revenue isn't going to be showing up in this next earnings report, it still is going to show that their backlog revenue has increased on this next earnings report. So keep that in mind as well. And don't let the little coming back down the baseline discourage you. Again, this is a great time to accumulate before Neutron has been fully developed. So let's keep on accumulating, and we will celebrate later on down the line.
Keep in mind that these little point-to-point moves that we've been going from week to week really isn't the whole big picture. To really see this stock performance, you kind of have to give it more time, because this is somewhat of a new stock compared to the rest of the market. So again, these point-to-point price movements that we've been looking at, do not take it too serious. It is good to look at to kind of gauge things, but take it with a grain of salt, because I would say the meat of the stock price is going to happen within the next 5 years. So you have to have that long-term projection and that long-term mindset when looking at a up-and-coming company like Rocket Lab. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter, where you can chat with me as well as other fellow Stock Trek fans.
And you can find me under the Twitter handle Stock Trek Girl.
Thanks for joining me again on this Rocket Lab Saturday, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. And until then, invest long and prosper.